Hey guys, welcome back to Bites on a Budget. It is Island Night here in the kitchen, and I'm so glad that you are joining us on KBHU-TV. So tonight we are going to make a baked pineapple teriyaki chicken thigh, which is super good, and we're going to put it over a nice bed of rice, and we're going to make homemade egg rolls. So this is an awesome date night meal, so guys, watch closely. Your girls will be impressed. Girls, if you don't know how to cook yet, I'm going to teach you, and your guy is going to be super happy. Or your girl, or guys, your guy, or whoever. Date night, this is awesome. So let's get started. So first of all, we are going to make our sauce for our chicken. So we're just going to take a can of pineapple chunks, not crushed pineapple because that's gross, but pineapple chunks. Just pop that lid off and drain out this juice into the pan, okay? But keep the pineapple. One, because why would you ever throw pineapple away? But two, because we're going to use it later. So drain that out into our medium to large saucepan. Great. And just set that aside because we're going to use that later. Now, I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm going to put that right on in there, followed by 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Great. I have a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I'm going to pour that in. I'm going to put in some garlic because everybody loves garlic, right? A couple of cloves worth of garlic right on into there. We're also going to put in some ginger root. Now, ginger root looks like this. So when you see it at the grocery store, it's this. It looks really ugly and gross. This is what you want, not horseradish, which looks sometimes kind of similar. So don't get the wrong one. But this is ginger root, and I promise you, you're going to learn to love it. So what we're going to do is we need about 1 inch of this, but instead of cutting it off, we're just going to take this vegetable peeler, and I have a fancy one so that I don't cut my hands. But you're just going to peel off the edge, that outside skin. It broke off anyway, but just to expose that nice moist, you'll start to smell that ginger right away. Okay, and if it's a smell you're not familiar with, you will learn to love it. It is really, 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 really good. So we've got about 1 inch or so that is nice and peeled. So then from there, we are going to take our grater, and you can just use a cheese grater and use the really, really fine end. Now mine has this really handy little box. It's going to catch all the ginger as I grate it down. So I'm just going to grate all the way down to that peeled portion that we've got. Okay, and fold it over and just get as much in there as possible. Great. So now the handy part is ginger root keeps forever in the freezer. So you may be thinking, what the heck am I going to do with all this ginger root? Well, you're going to put it in a little baggie, and you're going to seal it up, and you're going to put it in the freezer. And it's going to keep in there for months or years or however long until the next time you make this, which is probably going to be next week sometime, but you can keep it in the freezer until then. So you'll see down here at the bottom I got this chunky ginger stuff. So I just pop this off. Freshly ground ginger in there. What I like to do is kind of reach up in there and scrape it off the inside because that's nice and grated and you don't want to waste it anyway. So we're just going to set that aside. Now, we've got our vinegar, our cornstarch, right? Vinegar, that would have been bad. Vinegar, cornstarch, brown sugar, ginger, our pineapple juice. We're going to put all that in there. And we are going to just whisk that together just a little bit. So just whisk all that together. We're going to put it over medium heat until the cornstarch is completely dissolved. And that's just going to get this sauce really thick and glossy. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. And then I'll show you what to do with it. But I'm going to go over here and get this nice and ready. So our sauce is nice and glossy. It's so beautiful. I would show you, but it's just black in a black pot, so you probably wouldn't be able to see anything anyway. What we are going to do is we're going to take that pineapple from earlier. We're going to pour that right here into the sauce gracefully so you splatter all over the counter. And just stir that up so that that pineapple is soaking up that awesome, beautiful teriyaki. Super good. Just set that off to the side and let that just sit for a bit. Now I already greased this. This is just a nice 9x13 baking pan. we're just going to take about 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Now the thing about chicken is a lot of times it's pretty cheap, but if you look, you can find really awesome deals, and when you find awesome deals, buy and buy and buy and buy some more. Deals are really, really great, especially on things like proteins, because protein freezes and will last for a really long time, so until you actually need it, you don't really have to worry. So you can bulk up, save a ton of money, and then when you need it, you have it on hand ready to go. So this is about 6 of these thighs. I'm just going to place them in here so there's plenty of room to breathe. Now we're going to take this mixture that we've got going on here. Oh, it's so good. This whole place smells delicious. And you're just going to pour it all over this chicken. Now my oven's already preheated to 400 degrees, so we are good to go on that. And so I'm going to go and just put this right on in for about 35 minutes. And while these are cooking, we are going to make some homemade egg rolls. So while my chicken thighs are baking in the oven, we are going to make some homemade egg rolls. Now the reason that I picked egg rolls, I was in the grocery store getting stuff for the chicken thighs, and I saw some awesome deals at Looters. I got this head of cabbage for like 39 cents. How can you beat that? They just got really great produce, so I love shopping there. So we've got a bunch of things that are going to go in there. We've got some mushrooms, we've got carrots. I got 2 different kinds of cabbage. I have a purple and a green just for color variety. There's some fresh ginger that's going to go in there. I've got some green onions and a whole slew of other things. So to start off with, we're going to get all these veggies prepared. So I've got 2 bowls. This one big one that all my finished after they're prepared are going to go into, and this one for trash, because when you're cutting up vegetables, sometimes there's lots of things like these weird little spiny heads on the green onions. So we're just going to cut these up nice and fine. Now for all the recipe details, you can always go on KBHU-media.com. They are posted there pretty regularly. So if you have any questions about how many of what to put in where, that's where I'm going to send you. So I'm just going to peel these carrots really quickly. Sweet. Peeling vegetables may be a pain, but it is fun and it is messy. I love messy cooking. I always say, if you don't make a mess, you're not cooking right. My least favorite part, cleaning up that mess that I made. So we've got that. Let me tell you, that teriyaki chicken that is cooking right now, it smells delicious. Cannot wait for you to make this at home. And when you do, I want you to totally let us know how things turned out. So I'm just chopping off the ends of these carrots. And we are just going to grate them right into this big giant bowl. So I'm going to use the biggest side of my cheese grater that I have. And make sure that you move your fingers back fast enough, because if you don't, you're going to end up with little bits of your fingers in this giant bowl. And nobody wants that. See? Mess, like I told you. Now, one money-saving tip that I'm going to give you is to not ever buy pre-prepared vegetables. Buying shredded carrots is a total waste of your money, especially if you're a college kid, because you can totally take the 2 minutes it takes to do this instead of having to spend way more money on prepared vegetables that you can do yourself just as easily. So we've got that in there, we've got our green onions in there. And we're going to take some fresh mushrooms. Don't buy the canned ones, they're just not nearly as good. Now mushrooms are one of the easiest things to cut up, and also one of the most frequently purchased sliced items. So save the money and cut them up yourself, because like I said, and as you can see, it takes almost no time. Okay, so we are going to cut up, we're going to use a half a head of green and a half a head of this purple. So we're just going to chop right down the middle of that. Great. Now, the thing about cabbage is you want to cut that core out because it is not delicious. So cut that core out, and just if you just do an angular cut right into the center and then do the same thing in the opposite direction, the other thing, you want to take off the top couple layers. A lot of times just the top one's okay, but I like to just take just a couple of them off, making sure that the product I'm using is nice and prepared. And you're just going to and then just take it with your hands and break the cabbage apart. Into the bowl. And we're going to do the same thing with the purple. Now I love purple cabbage because it is beautiful. It has really, really, really rich tone and color, as you can see. And as you cut it open, you get these little glimpses of white, and it just really, really, really adds a whole nother level to your presentation. So now that we have all these veggies in here ready to go, we are going to saute them up in a nice big pan right over here. So my pan here has got just a little bit of vegetable oil in it, and we are just going to drop all these veggies in at once. Now it's going to look like a lot, but we're going to keep sauteing this and cooking this down. As it cooks, the pieces of cabbage are going to cook down pretty significantly, almost in half. So I promise that this bowl is going to look much less full very quickly. Now the cabbage is really broken down, and you can see that now things are a lot more manageable in size. So to flavor this, we are going to throw in this right here is some soy sauce with some sriracha and some cornstarch, and that's just going to thicken things up pretty quick. So we're going to pour that in and toss that together here. It's really going to thicken things up really, really quickly. And now that that's all in there, all nice and broken down, we are going to throw in just a little bit of sesame oil. And it's just to taste. So as much as you think you'd like in there. The second that sesame oil goes in, the whole aroma changes and becomes just really, really magnificent. Just dances in your nose. So now that all this is thrown together, we're going to throw it back in that bowl and we're going to let it cool for about till it's cold, really. And then I will show you what to do with it then. Now that our vegetable mixture is at room temperature, we are going to roll some egg rolls. Now, I promise you they aren't going to look great because mine don't even look that great and I've been practicing for a while. So you can get these egg roll wrappers at just about any supermarket. I got mine at Looters, but so you're going to take it and you're going to make it a triangle so that or a rectangle so that one point is pointing towards you and the other away from you. So now the big trick to rolling egg rolls is to not overstuff with mixture. So we're just going to put a nice spoonful here and another one just to the side of it so that it's not too full, but still is going to be plenty filling when we get to it. So we're going to take this end that's closest to us and slide it all the way up and drag it backwards. And all this good stuff, just tuck it on the inside there. And then you're going to roll it up one more time, kind of like you're rolling a sleeping bag, until all that mixture's in. Now, I do have a cup of water here, and this just acts as a sealant. So just take with your finger just a little bit and wet the dough on the edge, and it will kind of seal itself. And the same thing on this side. And the reason we do that is because we're going to fold those edges over onto the roll that we have going on here. And that's going to seal this tuck onto that side of the egg roll. Now we're going to take our water and go along this edge here and this edge here. And as we roll it up a little further, we're going to tuck this edge in and roll slowly around. And it'll look kind of like this. Now they aren't going to look like a restaurant. They've been doing those for years. But for a first couple times, it's not going to look perfect, but I promise you they're still delicious. So we're going to keep going, rolling up egg rolls until I'm out of mixture. Now we've got our pan of oil here nice and hot. It's sitting at about a 4, so just below medium. And if you look closely, you can see it shimmer just a little bit, so you know that the oil is ready for frying. Now if frying scares you, like it does me a little bit, you can always bake these. You don't have to fry them. But to fry them, we're just going to take them and slowly place them into the oil. Don't drop it, because oil will splatter all over you. But if you just slowly set it in and place it into the oil, we can do a couple few in here. Now, like I said, this is a gentle process. If you drop them in too quickly, you'll splatter yourself and risk your egg roll opening up. I work to get some of this oil up onto the tops of these just in that first initial bit. And you can rotate them. They don't take too long to fry at all, but they'll start to get golden brown pretty quickly. And always when you're working in a hot frying pan like this, you want to make sure that you're being very gentle, even when you're flipping. Now as you're frying, you don't want to over fry because things will get rubbery and hard and no one really wants to eat that. So as these are finishing frying up, they're starting to get nice and golden brown. So I'm going to take a plate with some paper towels and have that readily available. Now if you look, you can see these are really starting to look like egg rolls that you might find at a restaurant. Shake them off lightly and place them on the paper towel plate. Well, everything is done, and let me tell you, it smells amazing in here. I cannot wait for you to make this on your own. Last thing to do, plate it. No matter if you're cooking just for yourself or if you're doing it up nice for a date night, plating is super important. So we're just going to take some sticky rice that I made, just some minute rice, really, just nice and quick. A nice soft bed of that rice. Oh man, let me tell you, this smells so good. One of these chicken thighs right on top there. Give it a nice little bed. I'll turn this so you can see. Totally know what I'm talking about. And then we'll take our egg rolls. Stack those like so. And we'll take our dipping sauces and we put one right here. Now, I love a sweet chili sauce, so I'm definitely going to use some of that. Then you don't have to get sweet and sour. So we'll use some of that, and I like to put just the smallest amount of sriracha in it, just to kick it up a notch. And there you have it. This chicken is so good. And that teriyaki sauce, to die for. Just gonna try a little bit of this rice. Oh, you're gonna love this. We made all this for less than $20. You couldn't go out to a restaurant and get half this much food for $20. Big tips, buy your food on sale. Just watch your sales. When things go on sale, buy in bulk. Bring it home, throw it in the freezer. You can take it out whenever you need it. That's the #1 tip I can give you. It's such a money saver. So this has been Bites on a Budget. I am so glad that you've joined us. You can always check out all these recipes on bhsumedia.com. Thanks for watching KBHU-TV. I'm Sean Sutton. Have a great day.